Welcome to the Mindset Architect podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 103. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I just want to thank you for sharing your time with me. Time truly is our greatest asset, and it's the highest form of flattery that you would invest and share your time with me. And with that comes a sense of responsibility. I'll be honest with you. I always want to make sure that what I'm delivering to you has high impact, high quality, and is timely and timeless for you, regardless of what's happening in the market, regardless of what's happening in your world, that the information and tactics that I provide for you can help you move your business life or relationship forward, or all three of them. And today's topic, we've talked a little bit about in the past, but I really am compelled to have another conversation about it at a deeper level, just because of what I'm experiencing in the coaching world and the people that I spend time with, that I feel like we owe it a little bit more time. And what I'm going to talk about today is certainty. And I want you to just listen for a minute. Certainty right now, in a time of extreme uncertainty, can have you stand out from the pack of your competitors, your field, your industry, in a way that will draw people to you, in a way that will allow you to continue to be successful and move forward more than action, more than some strategies. Certainty is so important. If you are one of five competing for the same thing, auditioning, whatever it is, sales call, and you exude certainty, even if your presentation is not quite as sexy or fabulous as the other people, the fact that you have a greater level of certainty will draw people to you, and chances are you'll win out over the others. People won't necessarily know why. In fact, they may say, you know what, honestly, the other people had more to say, but I feel really connected to Tony and I'm not sure why, but that's who I want to work with. So I want to talk about certainty, because if you are allowing everything that's happening to erode your certainty, it can be the one thing that is holding you back from getting to goal. And my mission in life is to help people achieve whatever goal that they want to achieve. If it's business, life, relationship, health, whatever it is, certainty has an impact on it. So the number one thing is just know that certainty is magnetic. And it really, really is. When you walk into a room or a space or a Zoom room or a phone call, people will feel that energy or that level of certainty before you utter a word. It's incredibly powerful. Clients are drawn to it. They truly are. Relationships will deepen because of it. So past clients, people in your database, your sphere, people that you know, those relationships will deepen because of your ability to create certainty. And your business is going to thrive. Your life, relationship, health is going to thrive when you step into being certain. And I will be honest with you, until you become consciously aware of this, you might not even know you're doing it. You're impacting your overall success if you don't spend time creating certainty for yourself. I know it's a time of a lot of unknown, yet we can control this one thing, and this can set us apart and move us forward. So 7 things that you can do to impact your certainty to allow yourself to achieve the goals that you want to achieve and make them easier to achieve are really fairly simple. The number one thing is very obvious, very simple, yet we don't do it very often enough. When I'm coaching someone to lean into certainty, I will say, reconnect to your vision. You know, when we all started off on this journey of a business or a venture, we have a vision of what we want it to look like. We know the direction that we were going to go. Then we start doing it and stuff happens and we get a little lost on the way and we fall a little bit to the uncertain side. that is really what's going to hold you back. So you really want to reconnect and recommit to your vision. What I know to be certain is when I'm clear on where I'm headed, when I'm clear on what I will do with clients that choose to work with me, people feel very confident because people follow leaders who have direction. They just do. When I'm very certain that I take a client who is here and wants to go here, and I have a path for them to get there, and I'm abundantly clear and abundantly certain that we can do it together, people want to work with me. If I show up uncertain of what's going to happen and I've got to figure it out, oh my gosh, I don't know, let's try to figure it out together, people probably are not going to want to work with me. So spend some time reconnecting to the vision that you created. If you haven't created it yet, do it and spend some time with it. And I think what's important is our vision sometimes is very long term, right? We create a vision for our company. We create a mission statement for our company. What I would say if you're looking to reconnect and get clarity of that vision is do a 3-month vision. Bring it down to more obtainable, more realistic time period and spend some time writing down your 3 priorities for every quarter. That to me is a really easy way to get reconnected to the vision and bring it from this big 40,000 foot entity to 1,000 foot where you've got three priorities for the very next 90 days in front of you. If you've listened to me, you know that I love 90-day sprints, 90-day themes. This is no different when we want to get clarity of our vision. Number 2, when you're seeking to improve your certainty, there is this thing called mastery through preparation. When you are prepared, your certainty goes through the roof, right? Confidence comes from competence. Confidence impacts certainty. If you are competent and you are confident, your certainty is going to be high. The more you practice, the more certain you become. I have a belief that you need to practice until you can't get it wrong. People ask me all the time, like I'll give a 45-minute speech or I will conduct a 90-minute training session. And I don't look at notes very often. I have a PowerPoint maybe, or I have a direct path of where I want to take the conversation. And they ask me, how do you do that? Like, how do you stay on track and not forget what you're doing? And I simply answer and say, it's mastery through preparation. I practice until I can't get it wrong. I practice with worst case scenario in mind. What if my PowerPoint goes out? What if we lose power in the room? What if there's a disruptor in the room? I want to have mastered what I'm doing through preparation to a level that nothing short of a natural catastrophe or a health emergency would distract me from what I need to do or what I'm there to do. So mastery through preparation. Uncertainty. So if I walked into a room and I wasn't prepared and I felt uncertain, it thrives in lack of preparation. So if you're feeling uncertain, I'm going to ask you to do a check-in to see if you're prepared for your sales presentation. Are you prepared for a conversation with a client? Are you prepared? And the worst thing that you could do was to think about it and then go do it live on a client. That is practicing on a client. Don't practice on a client. Do some role playing, do some work that you can do prior to getting there to be prepared. People know when you're doing something that you've never done before and you're floundering a little bit or you're uncertain of what to say next. People can feel that. So really, to grow your certainty is just mastery through preparation. Know your pitch, know your product, role play objections. Mastery makes you unshakable when challenges arrive. Mastery makes you certain. So practice. Objections are a big one that people a lot of times don't prepare for. And so usually in whatever industry you're in, there's usually about 5 to 8 common objections. Write those down, practice objection handlers, be really confident with those. And that will build your certainty that somebody's not going to stump you when they toss out an objection, because chances are people are going to have an objection just because they want to feel a little in control and they don't want to feel like they're being sold to. So they'll toss out an objection. But if you mastered it, it's no big deal. It's not going to rock your certainty and you're going to be able to handle it and move on. The number 3 thing that you need to do to fortify your certainty is to anchor into past wins. Your brain defaults to fear unless you remind it of proof of success. It's funny, I was talking to a longtime friend of mine who was saying that they're ready to take their business into a different organization and that they were very concerned and nervous, right? That they were uncertain that they were going to be able to be successful. And one simple observation for this person and one question that I asked is, tell me about a time in the last 15 years that you've been doing this, that you failed so miserably that you lost a client, you were fired, you had no business, you had no income. Tell me about a time. They didn't have any. And we just had to remind this person of the proof of previous success. I joke around and say, well, I woke up today and I get to live another day and I've survived, right? I have proof that I can thrive and survive in the world. Therefore, I can do anything. And that lends to my certainty as a human being. So if you are feeling uncertain, think back to your past win. Think to what you've done to get to where you are and all of the great things that you've been able to accomplish. And just remind your brain that there's more proof of success than of failure. And I can promise you, for 99% of you, there is more proof of wins than failure. So lean into that, anchor into past wins. I used to have, when we were more pen and paper, I used to have a file in my desk and it was a win folder. And I would keep notes in there about my wins, my celebrations. I would keep notes from clients in there and I would just pull it out every once in a while when I needed to just be reminded that I am winning the majority of the time. And you might want to start doing the same thing in your practice right now. However you want to do it electronically, whatever you want to do, just having a win folder, stories, testimonials, achievements, awards that you've received really can be helpful before a big meeting or a big presentation. And you can review them to anchor back to that success energy, which will create more certainty for you. Number 4 is to control your state. And what do I mean by that? I talk a lot about mindset and how important that is. But in this instance, I want to talk about your physicality, like your posture, your tone, your energy, how you structure your sentences. Are you monotone? Are you exciting? Are you engaging? What is that? There is something to your physicality that can lend to your certainty. If I walk into a room and my head's down, I'm looking at the ground and my shoulders are dropped and I'm just a little withdrawn, I've lost 90% of the audience. If I'm going on a sales call and I walk in that demeanor, I've already lost the sale. I just have. But if I walk in with a level of confidence, not arrogance, if I walk in with a level of confidence, shoulders held high, head held up, and I have a very good tone when I start talking to someone, that energy is going to transmit and exude certainty. And the person or persons that are receiving that are going to feel that. And they're going to lean into my certainty because we all crave certainty. So if the person you're selling to or the people you're speaking to have a level of uncertainty, but you show up in a posture in a way that exudes certainty, they're going to be drawn to you. So control your state. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Control your pace of speech. Sometimes we get nervous or we're uncertain. We talk really fast or we'll talk really quiet. Own your presence. That within itself will lend to you appearing with a great deal of certainty, and you will start to feel that just by the things that you do. Number 5 thing is surround yourself with certainty. So who you spend time with, right, will either reinforce doubt or fuel belief. You're the sum of the 5 people, all of the things that we've said, right? All of the things that you heard. Yet this is really, really important for you to grasp. Being in proximity to people who operate with conviction, who operate with certainty, will elevate your certainty. You'll feed off of that energy. But if I choose to spend time with 5 other people who are in a, oh my God state, the sky is falling, I'm not certain if I'm even going to be able to pick up the phone, is going to do one thing. It's going to pull your certainty even further down. So proximity matters. Find someone that you can put yourself in their presence and take that energy of certainty from them and learn from them. I remember early days of my real estate career where things were happening that were creating some doubt in my mind, and I was not feeling very certain. And a mentor friend of mine said, "You need to go hang out with Joseph." And I was like, you know what? I like Joseph. Every time I'm around Joseph, his energy is amazing. He seems like he knows exactly what he's doing. He's got a calmness. There's not a whole lot of anxiety. And I thought, well, he's not going to want me to hang out with him. I mean, let's be honest. He's at this level and I'm at this level, and I'm going to be annoying like a little gnat, right? And I just made the decision that I was going to go talk to him and introduce myself and state to him, listen, I admire you. I've watched you for a while. You exude certainty and confidence, and I like being around that. Is it possible that I could spend time with you and learn from you? Because you are who I want to become in my life. Most people, if you approach it that way, they're like, come on, they want to help out, especially people who are very confident and certain because they're not worried about you stealing business from them. They'll want to do that. The other way that you can do that and surrounding yourself with people of certainty is sometimes you have to buy your way to proximity. And I know that sounds difficult or it sounds very transactional, and sometimes it is. For me, that's in the form, and for you, you might want to consider this. Sometimes buying your way into proximity it happens through the form of hiring a coach. So whenever I'm doing something and I want to move up to the next level, or I'm not succeeding where I want to be, I will hire a coach that has already done what I've done at a high level, that I can put myself in their presence and take from them the certainty that they have around what I want to do. And so sometimes you've got to buy proximity. I would highly encourage, if you don't have a coach, to hire one. That is one of the best ways to have certainty. You feel like somebody's in your corner. You got somebody watching out for your blind spots. You have somebody who's got proven success that you can lean into. Those things all stack towards building your certainty. So either find a group of people that you can go insert yourself in, or hire your way into proximity. Number 6 is about reframing uncertainty just simply as an opportunity. So just know that you don't need to be certain in everything. You just need to be certain in you. When you have a certainty about yourself, the other stuff doesn't matter as much, right? You don't have to be certain in everything. If I'm certain in my ability to figure stuff out, which I'm very talented at doing, then the other stuff doesn't matter as much. The unknown just becomes a lesson or a learning from me. It's exciting to me. It's like, okay, great. I don't know. However, I'm very certain that I'm going to be able to figure it out and figure it out in a way that's going to help somebody or help myself. And I just reframe it as opportunity. That's it. And when I look at the world through that lens, that I just have to worry about me and being certain in how I show up, nothing else matters. It all falls into place. So you don't need certainty in everything. You just need certainty in you. And that is just a great reminder. So sometimes you might have to reframe. And what I mean by, reframe the uncertainty is, instead of fearing, oh my gosh, what if? Like, what if the sky falls? What if there's a fire when I'm talking? What if they don't like me? What if? To reframe it as what's possible? What's possible that in this presentation could go really well? What's possible with this person feeling connected to me? Reframe the uncertainty and make it certain. What if? What if they end up liking me? It's possible. Get out of the what if something bad and reframe it to what's possible. And the 7th thing that I'm going to say is align your actions with words. I often will say, hey, client, your audio is not matching your video, meaning you're saying you're going to do all of this stuff, but you're over here doing this, and they're not in alignment. And if you were doing this, right, if you were doing what you were saying, you would be on equal ground and you would actually be moving forward and being successful. Your mind is paying attention to all of this stuff. If your actions aren't aligned with the words you're saying, you are creating uncertainty for yourself from the inside out, because your mind knows, hey, these are the things I say that I should be doing. These are the things that would really lend to my success, but I'm over here doing this. And it creates a massive amount of uncertainty for you, caused by you from the inside out. So just make sure your words match your actions. I mean, how would you feel if you were interviewing me and I said, hey, these are 3 must-dos that every business owner 100% has to do in order to be successful, to have longevity in their business, to achieve the goal that they want to achieve. These 3 things are non-negotiable. And 5 minutes later, you ask me to explain how I do those 3 things in my business, and I don't. I have created uncertainty for you, but I've just created uncertainty for me because I realize that what I'm saying is not what I'm doing. So match your words and your actions. When you don't, you're just fueling uncertainty for you. You're exuding uncertainty out to the world, and you're repelling people instead of attracting people to want to be with you. Certainty is built. It's not gifted. Like I can't give you certainty, right? I can influence and I can impact, but I can't give it to you. I can't say, here, unbundle, open up this package and you're going to find certainty. You've got to work on creating it. It's a compound effect. And it happens through preparation, anchoring wins, controlling your state, surrounding yourself with the right people, with the right beliefs, reframing the unknown from the what if to the what's possible, and walking in integrity, sitting in confidence. The way you show up, that's how you become magnetic. That's how you master your certainty. This is not arrogant or ego, but I'm very confident and certain of who I am as a human being. Whether I'm cooking something for the first time, or I'm having people into my space for the first time and I'm entertaining, or I'm attacking a business strategy that I've never done before, I'm very certain that I'm going to be able to figure it out. I'm very certain that I'll win. I just am. And that allows me to show up with confidence and draw other people to me. When I was in production and I was getting a lot of business from open houses, I would always ask the client who picked me, because they met me at an open house, why they chose me over the 5 other open houses that they went to, or the 20 other open houses that they went to. And 99.9% of the time, they said, because you knew what you were doing. You spoke with confidence and certainty. We felt very comfortable that you knew what you were doing and you were going to be able to guide us in the way that we needed. That's how I live my life. That's how I live my business. I show up in a space of certainty. It is not arrogant. It really isn't. And for those of you that are curious, 99% of those people that I picked up in an open house said that. The 1% that didn't hired me because they liked my car. That's a true story. But for the most part, it's because I exuded certainty. So if you're looking to change, to gain momentum in your business, life, relationship, health, whatever it is, start with you and start with building your certainty. It will make the biggest impact on your overall success. So team, I say this every time. If you've got a question or you're stuck and this is resonating with you, but you're just not quite sure how you're going to implement those 7 things, please reach out to me. Tony@rethinkcoaching.com is my email. You can go to our website, rethinkcoaching.com, fill out the section for a free strategy call, and I will schedule 1 hour with you at no cost, and we'll work through this. Or if there's something else, you're like, hey, I think I got the certainty thing, but something else is keeping me from being successful, please reach out. I really do enjoy helping, and I'm always open to giving an hour free strategy session, and we can get a lot done in that 1 hour to get you moving forward. So thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your time, and I'll see you next week. Go make it a great one. Go find your certainty. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.